heard that the contest is being held within 3 languages this time, unlike the previous ones. As a student major in foreign languages, I'm heading for the venue to see the ability of such students.
In the first round, 70 top students competed in their language skills. So I will go first. My experience tells me that learning Chinese after English is the best option. It's generally accepted that English and Chinese have many similarities in grammatical structure. I mean the main word order, subject, predicate, and object.
I'm not sure I can agree with you. You just say Chinese word order consists of subject, predicate, and object. But I think most of the languages in the world are based on that order too. Now I'll talk about the classifications of these languages. First of all, genealogically, Chinese belongs to Sino-Tibetan language, and the English and Russian belongs to this Indo-European family. And in typological aspect, English and Russian, they are both inflective languages, but Chinese is an isolating language. So I think English learners will also go for Russian because English and Russian have a lot in common in their classifications. And,
well, I don't think that is the case. You've just mentioned that English and Russian share the same proto-language, and they are both inflective languages. But what we have to remember is that, to be precise, English belongs to Germanic language family, whereas Russian goes under Slavic language family. What's more, in English, external inflection is predominant, while Russian is a typical language of internal inflection. So to sum up, English and Russian have little in common in respect of grammar, and I heard that Russian grammar is an uphill battle. In contrast, Chinese grammar is, well, relatively easier. What about vocabulary? In modern Chinese, I suppose there are more and more words borrowed from English.
Well, of course, you can say 1 or 2 borrowed words in Chinese, but when you compare these 2 languages, Chinese and Russian, Russian has got a lot more. In Russian, there are so many words similar to English that it is much easier to understand Russian than to understand Chinese, even though you have learned English only, including аэропорт, аппетит, луна, телевизор, банк, студент, университет, институт, факультет, бизнес, инженер, демократия, класс, компьютер, температура, математика, литература, география, история, физика, спорт, and so on.
As far as I'm concerned, this second round is really intriguing. It's like a hot potato to convince the others, I think.
I thought I was right to say studying Chinese after English is more effective.
Yes.
But now things are different.
Yes. I think what we have to count here is how to point the issue and how to guide others with a logical debate. Anyhow, it is my first time to be convinced that studying Russian as your second foreign language is more reasonable.
I hope everybody has clear understanding. And the contestants will have their English score after English presentation, and their average will be announced after Chinese or German presentation.
Yes. Only 12 contestants can move on to the next stage, and it means you all have to demonstrate your best. We are looking forward to seeing your wonderful concentration and self-possession.
All right, now a big round of applause for our first contestants. They are Comrade Kim Jong-kyung from Pyongyang Jangcheolgyo University of Commerce, Comrade Ju Pyong-hee from Pyeongseong University of Education,
and Comrade Lee Sok-ju from Pyeongbuk College of Industry, and Comrade Oh Mi-rae from Pyongyang Teacher Training College.
Please choose the number.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Oh, it's a very interesting topic. Okay, let's get started. I prefer ice skating because it's faster and requires many more techniques than roller skating. You can glide across an expanse of ice while balancing on steel runners that have been fixed to the bottom of special boots designed specifically for skating. Recreational ice skating is most prevalent in the countries with cold and long winters, although a great number of indoor rinks has made it popular in warmer regions as well. People skate on artificially designed ice. It might be difficult to balance for the first time, but once you get used to it, it becomes more exciting, and you can even try some trickier moves, such as spin, turns, and so on. That's my point. What's your opinion on this?
Yes, you're right. Skating is very good for our health. It increases the function of the central nervous system, which controls all parts of our body. And also, skating makes our body muscles get stronger. But I think skating has some shortage. Skating, even though skating is very fast and it's very good for our health, but I think we can't enjoy it anywhere and anytime. So my choice is rollerblading. Yeah, as you know, rollerblading we can't enjoy it anywhere and anytime. And so nowadays, rollerblading is very popular in our country, especially for children and young people, and so do I. So I like rollerblading than the ice skating. So that's my point.
Well, I see your point, but I think ice skating is more interesting than roller skating. Well, ice skating includes, speed skating, ice hockey, figure skating, ice dancing, and so on. For example, ice hockey is a kind of sport players playing on the ice, hitting the flat ball with the sticks. And figure skating is a kind of sport which you can skate on the ice, performing complex and varied movements such as throwing, jumping, working in harmony with the music. It's really fantastic. Yeah. So, the great leader generalissimo Kim Jong-il taught us that figure skating and ice dancing are excellent sport events that combine sport and art. That's my opinion. Thank you.
I really like roller skating than ice skating because roller skating don't affected by the seasons and the places. So once you have the roller skating, you can enjoy the time anywhere. So I think roller skating is more fun than ice skating. And then ice skating is the best one of the relieving stress. So while you're roller skating at high speed, you can breathe in fresh and clean air, and it makes you refreshed. And then when you're roller skating with others, especially with your friends, it makes you burst into laughter. So laughter is the medicine of our hearts. And then, but roller skating has a positive influence on the regulation to body temperature. And secondly, from the positive point of view, it's very good for your legs and waist. That's all my opinion. Thank you.
Wow. It was like a hot battle. I really appreciate the active debates. What do you think of their performance?
Well, actually, these 4 contestants demonstrated their high speaking skills and critical thinking ability. I think this is one of the hardest tasks to our contestants, but they all managed it. And what's more, they gave us a good impression. All right, here comes the result.
Comrade Park Soo-jong from Pyongyang City Medical College, Comrade Park Jang-hyuk from Pyongyang University of Medical Sciences.
Okay, and Comrade Kang Jin-suk from Pyongyang University of Medical Sciences, and Comrade Kim Il-hyang from Pyongyang City Medical College.
Please choose the number. Number 5, please.
Number 5.
Well, I think this topic is really relevant and crucial topic among people. So, dress should be neat and tidy, suiting the socialist way of life. The great leader, Comrade Kim Jong-il, said that the dressing is one of the important signs showing the ideological and mental state of people. So, just looking at people's dressing, we can see their personalities, taste, and lifestyle. So, and it's possible to measure the level of civilization and development of a given society by looking at people's dressing, I think. So I think it's important to vary the dress and in conformity with the seasons. So the dressing should be appropriate for our characteristics, national characteristics, and also for our socialist way of life.
Thank you. I want to emphasize that we should choose the clothes we wear, not only for our sake, but for the sake of the other people. I've got some good reasons for this. The first one is that our clothing is the very way we impress the other people. It is very important, especially when we meet someone for the first time. As we don't know the opponent very well, the first impression we take about him or her is by the clothing, not by her behaviors or speaking. Because to give a proper impression about yourself, you have to concern the fashion too. I mean that you don't have to be concerned about yourselves, your sake too much, because this kind of clothing that make the other people think that you are too much self-centered, and this is quite bad for yourself. And the second reason is that your clothing must have a great influence on the other people. What I mean is that what you wear affects other people's mood and behavior. So when you dress in a rude or untidy way, the other people will feel in that way. Thank you.
Well, thank you for a detailed explanation. So, well, you might have a point there, but if I may interrupt you for a while, I kind of completely agree with you. So, and I have good reasons for my argument. So first of all, when you're too obsessed with other people's opinions, it is actually harm for yourself. So the first reason is your health. So I can take examples of the high heels. So when you wear high heels, it can be actually good for attractive look. However, when you wear it for a long time, it hurts your feet, and it later leads to the splitting backache. And the second reason is that it is actually the waste of time. So many stylish and trendy suits are only focused on decorations and too many delicate details. It means that it actually takes ages to put on these kind of clothes, and it restricts your normal activities, effective work and study. I don't think there is actually a practical effect on your work and study. So, in my opinion, this kind of trendy, conservative suits are actually nothing but a waste of time. So I go for comfort over anything else.
Yes, you are right. The respected Parliament Kim Jong-un said that dressing should be beautiful and never in conformity with the aesthetic sense of the times and national emotion. But there are some cases that you don't wear in a way. Just looking at people's dressing, you can see their personalities, taste, and also lifestyle. And it is also possible to measure the level of civilization and to the development of a given society by looking at people's dressing. The Comrade Kim Jong-il said that dressing is one of the important signs showing the ideological and mental state of people. So you should be the students of the era. You should be the pioneers of the era in dressing too. Thank you. That's all.
Now, there are some tips for our debate. You should suggest your opinions on others without offending them. You don't try to impose your opinions on others. You have to respect them.
Yeah, right. And you use such as these expressions like, I hate to disagree with you, but I admit as much, but I'm afraid I can agree with you, but then saying like this with these facial expressions and give your opinions logically and exactly.
Well, thank you for your nice tips. And here comes the result.
Pronounce words and expressions very correctly, then the audience can understand you very easily and correctly. So as for individual words, you should be very careful about the word stress, long or short vowels, and some consonants that is different from our mother tongue, like R, th, th. Thank you.
실종의 출연은 계속해서 2단계 교육의 마지막 조동무들이 출연을 보도록
Comrade
하겠습니다.
Kim Jin-hee from Kim Cheolju University of Education, Comrade Han Jin-ju from Pyongyang Teacher Training College.
Yes, and Comrade Kim Jong-sim from Kim Jong-suk University of Education. and Comrade Park Yu-kyung from Sinuju Honor Disabled Ex-Servicemen College of Economics.
Yeah. Please choose the number.
Number 10, please.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you on this wonderful stage. Well, today's our topic is about the foreign language studying. So it's about books and mobile phones. So here my choice goes to the books. So before I get started, let me ask you some questions. When you started learning foreign languages, what did you use? Maybe the book, not the smartphone. So here's my opinion. First of all, the books are more easier on our eyes. So, for example, when I use the smartphone, I often feel my eyes get strained because of the light that emitted by the smartphone. But what about the books? It's very easy on our eyes. We don't get affected by the light. I think that's the most advantageous, that is the most important point in language learning. And the second point is that, we can note down some main points, and also if we want to remember some important point, maybe we can highlight that point. So from those point of views, I think maybe the books are more useful than the smartphone in language learning. That's my humble opinion. What do you think about it?
Okay. Let me express my opinion on the first speaker's presentation. Well, there are a few things I'd like to add to a presentation. So, in my opinion, mobile phone is more helpful than books. More helpful than books. So, nowadays we have, all of the students have mobile phones. So, through mobile phones, we can imitate the English cartoons. And, a good pronunciation is a key to being a good listener. So, okay, first we should master the theory of pronunciation. Of course, through using books, reading books, we can master the theory of pronunciation. So if you, when you have a good knowledge of pronunciation, you don't have to waste time any longer. That's all for my opinion. I hope you constructive comments on my point of view. Thank you.
Well then, I really hate to disagree with you, but let me ask you one question. If you think the mobile phones are more helpful than books, then why do we publish books continuously? Well, I think this is a kind of a simple question, but I guess books are more useful and more helpful for us to learn something, for example, the foreign languages or other techniques. Well, mobile phones are modern things. Of course, it is really good thing. We can use the electronic dictionary or something like that. But it also have got restrictions. It is really bad for our health. Have you ever thought about that? Well then, it also can get low battery or something like that. But books haven't got the restrictions like that. We can use it anywhere, anytime if we want. And it is, I think the books are really good for our health and also good for our study.
I see what you mean, but I don't think so. So I think it's better to study foreign languages by using smartphones. Or I'm going to explain some advantages of studying foreign languages by using smartphones. Well, first, smartphones, you can practice such various skills such as reading, listening, speaking, and so on, no matter where you are, as long as you use a smartphone. And then second, smartphones helps us to save our precious time for foreign language study. So when you study more than 3 foreign languages, you find it a bit difficult to make enough time for memorizing a lot of words. At this time, English dictionary allows you to find words for all languages precisely and quickly through the multiple searches. And last but not least, it's easier to carry than books because the smartphones are becoming smaller and it can contain a lot of information and English books. So I think it's better to study, it's better to use smartphones for foreign language study. Thank you.
Thank you. You are so active and you are all fluent speakers.
Here comes the score. Here you are at the end of the second stage. Okay, here comes the result of our second stage.
So, Mr. Hong, we have come to the end of the second stage. Did you get any inspiration watching the debates?
Well, I think this was a great experience for those contestants who made it this far, but unfortunately, they couldn't go on any further. But they say, man learns little from success, but much more from failure. This isn't the end of the world. We believe you can do better next time.
Wow, that was a good encouragement. At the same time, I was amazed by the wits displayed by those who managed to pass the second stage. I must say that success is won by three things. First, effort. Second, more effort. Third, still more effort.
Yeah, you're right. This lesson reminds me of the saying, diligence is the mother of good fortune.
Yeah. I hope all the contestants would keep up the good work and see you next time.